The Juan Soto sweepstakes continue. The Mets are right in the thick of things, and Michael Kay drops a bombshell report on his show today. We're going to break it all down today on MetCast. Welcome back to MetCast, friends. I'm Ray. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoy our content, but let's get right into it. Today, the New York Yankees met with Juan Soto. The Mets had him on Saturday. Supposedly that went really well. And then right before we came on today, Mark Feinstein reported that the Dodgers have now since reached out to Juan Soto to schedule a meeting. There's no surprise there. I know a lot of Met fans are getting, oh, wow, the Dodgers are getting involved, but they spent $1 billion last offseason, and I'm not sure they're going to want to hand out another $600+ million contract to Juan Soto this offseason, plus whatever else they're going to do. They have other needs. Walker Buehler's potentially leaving, but anyways, a lot of news to get to. Let's get right into this Michael Kay report, what he said on his show today. I got it set up for you guys. Let's give it a listen.
Carlos Baerga is locked in when it comes to Latin players. And he said on his X account that the Mets have offered Soto $660 million for 15 years. But knowing Scott, he's going to want it to be over 700 because no matter what it's worth, the benchmark now is the 700 million the Dodgers gave Ohtani, although it's just $2 million a year and then $68 million a year after the contract's over. But I will put it this way, and this is not something that Yankee fans are going to want to hear. I don't think the Yankees are going to go there. I don't. And then I've heard from somebody in baseball today that Cohen's willing to go $50 million over whatever anybody offers. So it looks like the Mets really want to get this guy.
So Michael Kay was told by an MLB insider today that the New York Mets are willing to go $50+ million over the offer that Juan Soto gets the most. Remember, you have some really wealthy owners involved. Toronto Blue Jays, their owner's worth like $11 billion, been trying to throw money at players for years. It just doesn't seem to work. No one really wants to go play in Canada. You have the Red Sox that we know are involved. They had a solid meeting with him, allegedly. The Dodgers are getting involved. The Yankees are involved. And don't be surprised if we see a team like the San Francisco Giants get involved, who just a couple of years ago offered Aaron Judge a massive contract where he almost became a San Francisco Giant, a la Arson Judge by John Heyman. But that ended up falling through. They lost out on Rondon a couple of years ago. So look for the Giants to potentially get involved. I don't see this getting handled within the next week or two. This might drag out a little bit, but I'm hoping not, because it seems like all of MLB free agency is waiting for Juan Soto to sign. Because remember, once he signs, the next tier of guys pretty much become more valuable. So I know the rest of the MLB players want to get out and about. Scott Boras has other agents, including Pete Alonso, ours truly, that he's got to get signed. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you believe this reporting by Michael Kay? And remember, Michael Kay is two things that I know about him. Number one, he's not a liar. And number two, he doesn't like the New York Mets. So the fact that this report that he is putting out there potentially leads to a positive for the New York Mets leads me to believe that it is true. Now, Carlos Baerga on the other side, I thought he said 14 years for $660. I think he just said 15 years, but if it's 14 years, you're looking at roughly $47+ million a season for Juan Soto. Is he worth it? For me, of course. I've said it a million times. I'm willing to pay the ticket prices. I'm willing to pay the parking. Go get me this generational talent. The last talent that was out there that was like him was Bryce Harper when the Washington Nationals let him go. When you look down the line, how many guys are absolute superstars that are in their early 20s, 20 or 21 years old, where they're going to be free agents at 26, 27. We're starting to see it more and more around Major League Baseball that teams, if they're not in the thick of things, they're more than willing to wait that extra year or two to bring those top-end prospects in. It allows them to save service time, those 6 years needed for them to eventually become a free agent. If you put Juan Soto in right field, you have potentially Brandon Nimmo in left. Maybe you plug the center field position with either Jet Williams, Drew Gilbert, or you bring in another journeyman. I don't want to see Harrison Bader back on this team. But once you have that, you can now shift to the pitching market, the Sean Manaeas. Unfortunately, it looks like Corbin Burns. I was really positive about him coming early on in the offseason. It looks like that is most likely not going to happen. Now, if you miss out on Juan Soto, that could change the entire landscape of things. But your Sean Manayas, your Luis Severinos, your Buellers, those types of players, that's where your focus then goes, potentially trading for a Devin Williams from Milwaukee. And that's another thing. You have the Garrett Crochets, and I'm sure there's a name or two out there that's on MLB rosters that David Stearns actually has his eyes on. He said it in his last press conference, how much he's comfortable in the trade market. We saw him wheeling and dealing while he was in Milwaukee, so he's no stranger to those types of things. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments. I try to get back to each and every single one of you. Do you believe this report by Michael K? Do you think Baerga is correct in that offer of $660, or do you think it's just all smoke and screens? Maybe Scott Boras is leaking some of this information to drive Juan Soto's price up. As the information comes out, we'll bring you more content. As always, thanks for hanging out, and until next time, peace.